Hey, this is Michael Edward, founder of How to Crush Your Mental Blocks in 4 weeks. And that's a 4-week video course that teaches you how to identify and remove the mental blocks that are keeping you stuck. Today, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. If you are in a point where you are starting out, all right, you're just starting out, or like me, you're starting over again, right, starting a new life, lots of changes and so on, or even if you're at the sort of the pinnacle, the top of your heap, and you've kind of lost that will, you don't have the drive that you used to have. There's something missing, and it's going to be discussed all this video, and that is goals. The importance of setting goals. Why do you need goals? What are they good for? How do you set goals? All this stuff is going to be talked about today. And the reason that it is so important is if you are starting right from scratch, you need to have a destination to go for. If you're at the other end where your life is not bad, your career is fine, but you just don't have the ambition that you used to have and so forth, it's because you don't have a goal to shoot for. All right? I'm going to cover 11 points today. At the end, I'm going to give you an exercise to do to help you, to teach you how to set goals properly. The exercise is great. It's not complicated. It does not take a lot of time. It's a necessity. You must do it. All right? So hang in and enjoy the video. Now, point number 1 is goals will change you. All right? They will change you. And because you have to rise and become the person that you want to become in order to achieve the goal. So number 2 talks about is you have to bring the goal up very high, a high goal. All right? Challenging goal. If your goal is just to get through the week and maybe have a few bucks left over to buy the family a pizza, that's not a high goal. That's not going to change you. That is not going to raise your drive. That is not going to be getting to your level of success. All right? That's not enough. You want to have a goal that's challenging and that's pretty much scary. If it scares you a little, that's a good sign. But at the same time, you do not want to have a goal that depresses you. It's like, no way in hell am I ever going to get there. That's not what we're about here. We're about setting goals that are challenging but achievable, and not to the point where, I want $100 billion, and you think about that, and there's just no belief, no nothing. That's not going to happen. All right? Number 3 is that goals will change you. They will change the type of person that you are, because if you think about it, most people, you've heard about stories about people who are wealthy and they lost it all and they got it back. That's not because they're smarter than everybody else and all the rest of that stuff. It's because they have a very wealthy disposition. They are wealthy. All the time they are wealthy. And when you set goals and start dinging them off, when you get to the end of the goal, then you are going to feel like a new person, right? And is it really the person that you're becoming is the goal, or is it reaching, if it was money, is it reaching $1 million or something like that? It's really about the person. You want to become what you want to become, the type of person, rather than the goal. Give that some thought, all right? Is it the end result of the goal that you want, or the person that you're going to become is the real issue here? All right, so that's number 3. Number 4 is, are you even willing to read, study, learn, grow into the person that you want to become? If you're not willing, you're done. Stop. Stop watching videos like this. Stop watching, how to be successful. Because if you're not willing to change into and research and learn and so forth, then how do you expect to get anywhere? Okay, you have to be willing to learn and grow. Okay, number 5 is don't feel fear or doubt when you look at your goals. All right, you need to be very up and very positive and have a high level of belief that you can achieve the goal. All right, otherwise you're just spitting in the wind. No point. Okay, so you don't want to raise the goal so high that you're in a state of fear or uncomfortable or doubt. All right, as I said earlier, it should be exciting. It should be challenging. Okay, number 6 is don't let your past failures dictate your future. Okay? You may have had some failures in the past, and really, if you think about them, and I suggest you do, spend some time and think about the failures. Think about whether or not you really gave it all. Right? And it was a couple of weeks ago I talked about a video was all on discipline. Were you disciplined during that time? Were you doing what you should have been doing in order to reach your level of success at that time? All right? But right now, what we're looking at here is there is a tomorrow. We're going to plan for that. We're going to work for it. There is no yesterday, and what we have most control over is today. So focus on today and tomorrow. Forget about the past. Can't change it. Can't do anything about it. Gone. Okay? Number 7 is why do goals work so well? Why do they have such a positive impact on us? Right? When we implement them and we write them and we do the work around goal setting and review them and change them as time goes on, why does it make such a big impact? Excuse me. The answer is actually relatively complex, and it involves me giving you a lesson on law of attraction or energy. And that's a whole other video, and I will do that video sooner or later. I will do a video on that. But right now, let's just chalk it up as one of life's little mysteries. Right? It's a mysterious thing. Just have faith that it works. And if nothing else, try it. Try for 60 days. Try for 90 days. Whatever you want. Try it. Do this whole thing that I'm explaining to you today. Do it all, and you see what happens to you. That's the only way to figure it out, and the only way to find out is to try it. All right? Number 8 is ask and you shall receive. This is not a new concept at all. But do you do it? Do you ask? Do you ask your higher power? I want to have whatever. Ask. It's in the Bible. It's probably in every religious text. It's taught in many different genres. And ask and receive. Now, receiving can be tough. All right? Receiving is tough for me. It doesn't matter how big or small. I used to have a real problem with receiving anything, a gift, cup of tea, whatever. I really did have a problem with that. I've let that go because if you're not open to receiving, then you're not open to growing. You have to be able to be open to growing. So ask your higher power. Ask and allow yourself to receive. Right? That was number 8, I believe. Number 9 is ask with faith. Absolute childlike faith that is coming true. With expectation. It's going to happen. With enthusiasm. Oh man, it's so cool when it happens. Right? You need to have that childlike innocence and faith and belief in order for you to move quickly. This is the stuff that makes the difference between reaching your goals quickly and over a longer period of time. That's number 9. Number 10 is long-term goals. What is a long-term goal? Long-term goal is over a year. So you can think in terms of 3, 5, 10 years. That's a long-term goal. Anything over a year. and you want to list them again. There's an exercise coming up shortly now. There's an exercise coming up that'll explain that part of it. But I just want to differentiate between long-term and short-term goals. So 3, 5, 7, 10 year, that's long-term. Number 11 is short-term goals. What is a short-term goal? Short-term goal is a year or less. All right? And I like to think of short-term goals as sort of like action steps, right? It's a process. So, for example, last year, I went and I helped somebody move across the country. So I flew out, and the goal was, of course, is to reach the destination, which was coming back here. And along the way, we had different action steps that we needed to do, right? Different procedures. So the short-term goals in the trip was the action plans, which was we're going to drive from here to here, and we'll spend the night at this place, so we'll book that. And then the next leg of the journey, we were, go visit some friends. And then the next leg of the journey, we would stop at such and such, do some touristy type things. So this is sort of the short-term goals, all right? And it's how I define them is it's more or less action plans. So if you have a year goal of, losing 20 pounds or something, then you have to have action plans up to that year to keep you on track. So every week you're going to do this much exercise, and for 4 weeks or so, and then after that you're going to increase the exercise because you're getting in better shape now. You can do more, etc., etc. You're going to have an eating plan, etc. So that is what a short-term goal is to me, is an action plan. All right? And if you think about it that way, I think it'll help you step it out. And because obviously the long-term goal, the 5-year goal, is to feel really strong and healthy and vibrant and so forth. So the short-term goal would be, well, I think in the next year or so, I need to drop X number of pounds and start working on becoming more fit with exercise, okay? So you see how that comes together? And it leads you to that 5-year plan. So after the first year, your next year, you're going to write down new goals, and you're going to say, all right, this year I need to step it up. I need to, maybe I'm going to take on a physical challenge, like, I don't know, biathlon or triathlon or something, some kind of physical challenge, all right? And then you do the action steps leading to that goal. But it's still leading to your 5-year goal, which is, I want to feel amazing and vibrant. All right? I hope that makes sense to you. Now, the exercise. The exercise, it shouldn't take you much more than 15 minutes, really. It should be sort of a quick, almost no thought to it. What you want to do is you want to write down 30 to 50 goals. And you just want to grab a pen and paper and just start scribbling down a bunch of stuff, a bunch of goals, anything that you want. And I'll give you 5 or 6 points that I want you to write down, and you can glance at and ask yourself these questions to help trigger more ideas of things that you want to write down, okay? Now, the first one is what do I want to do? Okay. B is, who do I want to be? C is, how do I want to feel? D is, what do I want to have? Right? E is, where do I want to go? And F is, what do I want to give? All right? And giving is something you always want to put in your plan. Do you want to give to a certain charity? If so, how much? If you want to give more time to volunteer, if so, how much? Etc. Now, those are just guidelines to help you think of 30 to 50 different items that you're going to write down. Okay? Now, once you've written those down, Now I want you to go over them and I want you to put a number beside each one. So you might want to list them 1 per line or 2 per line. Anyway, the number is the number of years that you feel it's going to take in order for you to achieve the goal. All right? 1 year, 5 years, 3 years, 7 years, 10 years? How long? Yeah, I know, I said that out of order. 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year, 10 year. Okay, we're happy now? Okay, good. Now, if you if you find that you're putting down a lot of 10-year, then I think what's going on here is that you don't have enough faith in yourself. You don't believe in yourself that you will achieve the goal. Okay, if that's the case, you need to rethink it and either decide whether or not you're being realistic as far as, 10 years to do that? No, I should be able to do that really in 3 years. Let's put my doubt aside, let's put my fear aside, let's put all the goofiness aside and just look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to change this to a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan. This is my goal right here. In 5 years, I'm going to have such and such. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, if you have a whole bunch of 10-year goals, the chances are not great that you're challenging yourself. And chances then are not great that you'll ever achieve the goal. Okay? So in order to achieve the goal, you need to write them out. You need to be very specific. The more specific you are, the more you've thought you've put into it, the more likely you are asking for it, right? Back at point 8. And the more specific you are, the more you can ask for it. Now, there's other schools of thought there on whether you're very specific or just general. There are pros and cons to both. I'm not going to discuss that right now. As far as writing down the goals are concerned, be specific, because I want you to see it in your head. I want you to feel it in your heart. I want you to know that you can have that goal. All right? Give yourself permission to do this work. Give yourself permission to get excited. And I'm giving you permission right now. I'm telling you, go be childlike. Have fun with this. Enjoy the process. All right? I am Michael Edward, coming to you from mepersonaldevelopment.com. I hope you follow me on Facebook. I'm always putting up posts there. Video, obviously, on YouTube. I put up a weekly so that you go back and look over the last few weeks or last several weeks and learn some more information there. All right? And check out my webpage at mepersonaldevelopment.com and join up on the email list. That's important. And I can keep in touch with you, let you know what's going on all the time. Okay? And as for today, I want you to go out, enjoy, love as much as you can, and succeed.